what would you say are like 3 red flags in the project that you're going to need restored? I think those ones I mentioned are a big one. And if you're starting to hear like rumor mill, like this is never going to happen, like what's going on at the water cooler, right? Let's see, red flags in a project, bad specs, bad communication, bad leadership, where no one can say stop. I think that's such a good addition, right? In this conversation is who is in charge of this. And with digital transformation projects, they bridge a lot of different areas. And that is so hard, right? Let's see. I'm trying to go back. You guys are chatty this morning, and I love that. To be blunt, there is a narrow window that allow a project to be restored. Bad leaders, not worth a try. I hear you. I think on that level, when we rescue a project, it's likely going to turn into something else, right? Like it's certainly not going to be the same of what they thought it was, because their expectations were, either wildly outside of what they thought that they needed. And that a lot of times the vendor, in my humble opinion, should have stepped in and been like, hey, so this software doesn't do that. And we can definitely sell you something that does, right? But as my colleagues always tell me, that's like hopes and dreams thinking. Thank you so much for the gift. That's so nice. I appreciate you guys. And you're right, subordinates who hide stuff. And that happens a lot of times, especially if we don't have a culture or even like a mode to like report things anonymously in the project, which it could just be like a survey link or something like that. Because a lot of times we don't know as leadership that these projects are in trouble. Is that on leadership to be more involved? For sure, right? But it's also the project team doesn't want to say that this project is failing, right? Let's see. The same way bad decisions by leadership, pretty PowerPoint and someone, right? Let's see. Someone else writing requirements. Well, I really appreciate your first gift. That's so nice. I wish I understood more. I get on TikTok and talk about these types of things. I don't at all do it for the money. I do it so that I don't make any money on TikTok. Just want to be super clear on that. But I come on here because I think that we need to change as an industry, right? And we need to end this SaaStortion, as I made up that word yesterday. I'm really proud of myself. And the SaaS mafia, right? Like the amount of times I see these businesses getting shaken down by like this system integrator owns your custom integration. What do you mean you own their custom integration? So that they can never not do business with you? That's mafia shit right there, right? That's shaking you down on the block. And I fundamentally and like on a cellular level cannot support that. So are they ever truly anonymous? Yes, absolutely. They can be anonymous. They absolutely can be anonymous. And how that looks like from a functional perspective is you have a feedback link that it's not even tied to a department. Could you, from an IT perspective, really go in and look at like the VPN that sent you that? Maybe, but that's not what you want to do, right? You want full anonymous feedback. And that could even be like all of these different things. And then it goes to usually the project management. It could sometimes go to the change team, but if you know me, I'm not a huge fan of change management outside the project management function. Change management and project management should live together. They should not be in HR, because then once we get that type of stuff in HR, it gets weird. All right, don't come for me, HR people, you have your role, right? But it's not a technical project role, and they are truly anonymous, right?